Hi, Ernie Vargas coming to you here live, and we're in the city of Corona. So we're always looking to be of service, right? And that's something that I always teach. I always say, look for the needs that there are in the community and how you can fill those needs. Well, in this case, you know that we as a company who is dedicated to purchasing property as investors, we're always looking to do that more and more. However, it doesn't always work out that way. There are times where basically a seller wants more than what we can pay them. And that was the case in this particular transaction. So we had our sellers, they wanted more than what we could actually afford them to pay as an investment. So what do? We always look for an opportunity to A, be of service, and B, to get paid, right? Because we're in here to make money. We're here to serve, but we're also here to make money. So in this case, we said, hey, you know what? We cannot buy this property from you directly, but what if we were to list this property for you? So that's why it's so important to have different tools at your toolbox, at your disposal. So in this case, we have a real estate brokerage. Now, if you don't have a real estate brokerage, that doesn't matter. You team up with somebody who has a real estate license, or you can get that yourself. So in this case, we've done so many of these transactions for so many years that we finally come to a point where we said, you know what, it makes more sense to own our own real estate brokerage, and so we do. So whenever we can't buy a house, we list the house if it makes sense for us to do so. It made sense for us to do in this particular case. We were able to help these very, very lovely homeowners, elderly people who had lived in their house for 40 plus years. They were done, they were ready to move on to the next phase of their life. So what we did is we put their house on the market, got them top dollar. They were so happy, they fell in love with us. But now we had a new problem to solve. They said, we want to move into another house, and we choose the city of Corona. So that's where we're at today. So now what do? We put our negotiation skills, we brought our team to the table, and we said, let's go out there and find them a house. We found them a house, negotiated a great price on the house of their choice that they fell in love with, and that's where we're at today. So today they're going to do a final walkthrough of the house that they purchased, and then now after that we'll get them relocated out here. So that's what we do. We find needs, we fill those needs, and we provide outstanding service. That's what you have to do. You'll find that there's an abundance of money for you to be made in this industry if you think about how you can help people. All right, so here we have the courthouse, which we just came out of, and we helped our lovely homeowners to transfer the tax that we were talking about. So there's a tax base that they had on their prior property that they purchased 40 years ago, and now they get to transfer that tax base over to the house that they just purchased, which is beautiful. So here in California, they don't have to get reassessed on that tax value. They will be able to keep that original tax value that they had on that original property that they purchased 40 years ago, and then transfer that over to their new house, which is just purchased this year. So the beautiful thing is that they will now continue to pay the same exact tax that they were paying on that property, and they're so happy about that. So again, what I'm always looking for is like, how can I go that extra mile and help people? And that's what I always advise my students to do, is look at ways that you can help them. Don't just stop at just don't stop, just go on, and you'll find that the more service that you provide for people, the happier they will be, and in turn the happier you will be. You'll never stop earning. I always tell my students, you'll never go hungry if you find ways to continue to support and be of service to others.